Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is Thursday, a completely exhausting and wild day in the soap world, and honestly my brain is just fried. I've been staring at this screen for hours, trying to process what we just watched, but we need to talk about Port Charles right now. Let's just dive right into the absolute madness, and I honestly don't even know where to begin because my heart is still pounding out of my chest. Let's just start with the fact that we all knew Carly's incredibly dangerous game of house was going to blow up in her face. We all knew it. You guys have been saying it in the comments for weeks. She has been hiding Valentin Cassadine, an international fugitive, and her supposed partner in crime in her attic while literally sleeping with his worst enemy Jack Brennan downstairs. I mean, what were they thinking? What was Carly thinking? It was a ticking time bomb of soapy disaster just waiting to detonate, and detonate it did in the most spectacular, tragic, and bloody way possible. So Brennan finally figured it out. He finally put the pieces together. Maybe it was Jocelyn poking around and asking too many questions about Cesar Faison's book. Or maybe Brennan is just the highly trained WSB director. We all know, and he is, and he finally stopped letting his feelings for Carly blind him. But he discovered Valentin was hiding right there in Carly's house. The absolute betrayal that must have washed over Brennan in that moment. He thought he had Carly. He thought they were building something, or at least enjoying this twisted, passionate alliance. But finding out that the man he has been hunting, the man who represents everything wrong in his professional life, has been living under the same roof. Brennan lost it. He completely lost it. And he didn't just confront her quietly. Oh no. Brennan mobilized the full force of the WSB. We are talking tactical gear sirens, flashing lights, agents surrounding the entire perimeter of Carly's property. It looked like a war zone in the middle of Port Charles. The sheer panic in the air was palpable. You could feel the walls closing in. The house was completely surrounded, and there was absolutely no way out for Valentin. He was cornered like a rat in a trap. But Valentin is a Cassadine. Let's be real, a cornered Cassadine is the most dangerous creature on the planet. Valentin didn't just surrender. He looked out those windows, saw the army Brennan had brought to Carly's doorstep, and his mind went to the darkest possible place. Valentin genuinely believed that Brennan was just using Carly. He convinced himself that this whole romance, this whole arrangement between Carly and Brennan was nothing but a manipulative WSB plot to get to him. Valentin's jealousy and his paranoia just completely took over. He thought he was protecting her. He thought he was being the tragic hero. So Valentin decides he's going to take out his biggest enemy. He decides he's going to shoot Jack Brennan. He pulls his weapon, and the tension in that living room was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Brennan is standing there furious, betrayed barking orders, and Valentin has him dead to rights. Valentin is ready to pull the trigger and end this once and for all. He thinks he's doing the right thing. He thinks he's eliminating the threat to his own life and to Carly's. And then Carly. Oh, Carly. She always has to put herself right in the middle of these massive alpha male showdowns. She literally cannot help herself. When she saw Valentin raise that gun, when she realized what he was about to do, she didn't even hesitate. She jumped. She actually jumped right in front of the bullet. She lunged forward, shoved Brennan out of the way with all her strength, and took the bullet straight to the chest. I literally screamed at my television. I screamed. The sound of that gunshot echoing through the house, the slow motion horror of Carly collapsing to the floor. It was cinematic. But it was also just so gut-wrenching. Why did she do it? Was she trying to save Brennan because she actually loves him? Or was she trying to save Valentin from committing a cold-blooded murder right in front of dozens of WSB agents, which would have guaranteed he'd be locked up in Steinmauer forever or killed on the spot, honestly? It's probably both. Carly loves deeply, and she acts impulsively. She wanted to stop the violence, and she paid the ultimate price for it. The immediate aftermath was just pure, unadulterated chaos, blood pooling on the floor of her beautiful home. Valentin dropping the gun, his face completely drained of color. He shot her. He shot the woman he has been obsessing over, the woman who risked her own freedom to hide him and protect him. The absolute horror in Valentin's eyes was haunting. He destroyed the one thing he was trying to save. Typical Cassadine behavior, right? But seeing it happen, seeing him realize that he just put a bullet in Carly's chest, it was hard to watch. And Brennan was just frozen. He was on the floor where Carly had pushed him, staring at her bleeding out. This hardened WSB director, this man who is usually so terrifyingly calm and collected, was completely shattered. He scrambled to her side, his hands covered in her blood, screaming for the medics. The agents swarmed the house, tackling Valentin to the ground. But Brennan didn't even care about Valentin in that moment. All he cared about was Carly. His duty, his mission, his vengeance against Valentin, all of it just evaporated the second Carly took that bullet for him. They rushed her to General Hospital. The ambulance ride, the sirens wailing through the streets of Port Charles. It was a nightmare. When they burst through the doors of GH, it was total panic. Lucas Jones and the rest of the staff were scrambling. Carly is in critical condition. She is fighting for her life on an operating table right now, and I am just sitting here wondering if she is actually going to pull through. I mean, obviously it's Carly. She survives everything, but the writers are really putting her through the ringer this time. The stakes have never been higher. But wait, let me back up, because we have to talk about the other massive ripple effect of this shooting. We have to talk about Jason. Jason is currently sitting in a WSB holding cell, completely isolated from the world. Let's remember why he's even in there. He took the fall for Rocco Falconeri. Rocco shot Ross Cullum on Pier 55, and Jason, being the ultimate protector, confessed to the crime to save Lulu and Dante's kid from Cullum's wrath. Jason is sacrificing his own freedom, his own life, with his son Danny just to protect the teenager. He is locked up completely helpless. And then the news reaches him. Somehow, the news of the shootout at Carly's house makes its way to Jason's cell. Maybe a guard taunted him with it, or maybe he overheard some WSB chatter. But Jason finds out that Carly has been shot. Not just shot, but shot in the chest by Valentin Cassadine, and she is barely clinging to life at GH. You guys, Jason lost his mind. He completely lost it. We haven't seen Jason this unhinged in years. Ever since his traumatic brain injury decades ago, Jason has been the stoic, controlled enforcer. He internalizes everything. But Carly is his weak spot. Carly is his soulmate, his best friend, the one person he will burn the world down for. Hearing that she is bleeding out on an operating table, and he is locked in a cage unable to protect her, it broke something inside him. The rage radiating off Jason was terrifying. He was thrashing against the bars, pacing like a caged animal. He vowed with absolute chilling certainty that he is going to make Valentin pay. He swore he is going to kill him, and when Jason makes a promise like that, you know he means it. Valentin is a dead man walking. I don't care if Valentin is in WSB custody now. I don't care where they hide him. Jason will find a way out, and he will tear Valentin apart with his bare hands. The mob enforcer is fully awake now, and all of Sonny's enemies, all of the WSB, they better watch their backs. And let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture here, because this changes the entire landscape of the show. What does this mean for Brennan? He is completely torn right now. He's the head of the WSB. His job is to uphold the law, to arrest fugitives like Valentin, and technically, he should be arresting Carly too for harboring a known fugitive. Carly committed a massive federal crime by hiding Valentin in her attic. But how can Brennan arrest the woman who just saved his life? How can he punish Carly when she literally threw her body in front of a bullet meant for him? Brennan is sitting in that hospital waiting room, staring at the blood on his tailored suit, and he is broken. He is a man divided. His duty is telling him one thing, but his heart is screaming something else. He is so deeply in love with Carly, or at least so deeply infatuated with her, that he can't see straight. Will he cover up her involvement? Will he make the charges against her disappear? He has the power to do it, but it would compromise everything he stands for. And what about Valentin? If Carly dies, Valentin will never forgive himself. But even if she lives, he has destroyed any chance they ever had. Carly will never look at him the same way again. He let his paranoia and his hatred for Brennan turn him into a monster. He pulled the trigger. He caused this. The guilt is going to eat him alive, assuming Jason doesn't get to him first and end his misery. Honestly, I am just so tired, but I am so invested. The writers have really outdone themselves with this messy, chaotic love triangle. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Valentin. Maybe he really did think Brennan was going to kill them both. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. The tension has been building for months, and it finally exploded. But I also have to ask, what were the writers thinking putting Carly in this specific situation again? She always plays the martyr. She always jumps into the line of fire. It's so frustrating to watch her make these reckless decisions, but at the same time, it is exactly who she is. She acts on pure emotion. She saw two men she cares about to kill each other, and she used her own body as a shield. It's brilliant. Character consistency, even if it makes me want to pull my hair out. And let's not forget how this ties into everything else happening in Port Charles right now. We have Jen Sidwell running around causing terror. We have the whole hit and run mess with Brooklyn and Jordan, and we have Willow sinking to new despicable lows to protect her own secrets. The whole town is a powder keg. But right now, everything else just fades into the background. All that matters is whether Carly, Corinthos, Jax, whatever her last name is right now, is going to survive the night. The fans on social media are already losing their minds. Twitter is a complete disaster zone. Half the fandom is screaming for Jason to break out of prison and rescue Carly, and the other half is crying over Brennan's tragic realization that Carly actually cares about him enough to die for him. It is a shipper's nightmare and a soap fan's dream. So here we are. We are waiting for updates from GH. We are waiting to see if Lucas can work a miracle in that operating room. We are waiting to see if Jason can break out of his WSB cell before he completely loses his mind. And we are waiting to see what Brennan does next with his captive Valentin Cassadine. I need a nap. I need a very long nap. But you know I'm going to be glued to my screen tomorrow to see the fallout. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Carly's going to make it? Do you think Jason will actually kill Valentin? And what the hell is Brennan going to do now? I'll see you guys in the next update.